A long time ago, a hedgehog was born with extraordinary powers. He grew up on Christmas Island and was told to keep his superpowers a secret. Like any child, it was hard to keep a secret, and one day his showing off brought dire consequences. He was raised by Longpaw, a wise owl, who was ultimately struck by power-hungry seekers. She warned Sonic to stay safe by staying hidden, because people may always be hunting him for his powers. She gives him a bag of rings to use when he's in trouble. 10 years later, a cop is so bored, he starts talking to a turtle. Sonic flies past his speed detection gun at 300 miles per hour. The man has no idea what he just witnessed and drives away confused. Sonic is living his best life on Earth with his library, home gym, games, and security system. And if he's ever discovered, he'll use his escape ring to another planet, filled with only mushrooms. He hates mushrooms. Sonic believes Green Hills is the best place on Earth. His favorite person is the Donut Lord. He lives with Pretzel Lady, who strangely has no bones. Crazy Carl almost caught Sonic, but he just likes to mess with him. Sonic says they're like a family, even though they've never met. Donut Lord finds out he's been accepted to join the San Francisco police force. Pretzel Lady made him 2 cakes, just in case. They decide that even though it's a big change, they want to make this move. Sonic watches boys play baseball together, and he wonders what it would be like to have friends. He plays baseball alone, but when he realizes how lonely he is, he starts running around the bases as hard and as fast as he can, charging his powers and causing a county-wide power outage. Donut Lord discovers a single Sonic hair on his counter. The government needs to decide what to do to help them figure out what caused this massive power outage. The doctor arrives, informing the major that nobody cares what his name is anymore, because he's in charge, and his men answer to him now. He controls machines that will sweep the area to search. Using a footprint, the doctor is able to determine the completely unique and unearthly makeup of Sonic. He tells Agent Stone that this is no terrorist attack. This is unlike anything they've ever encountered before. Donut Lord is updating Pretzel Lady on his day when he believes the raccoons are back. He brings his tranquilizer gun out to the garage, but it isn't raccoons. It's Sonic, preparing himself to abandon Earth and join the mushroom world. Donut Lord shoots him out of fear, which causes Sonic to accidentally lose his bag of gold coins on top of a random building in San Francisco. Shortly after Sonic comes to, the doctor arrives on the man's property to capture him. Sonic begs him for help because it's a life or death situation, and since he tranquilized him, his legs won't carry him to safety like they always do. Sonic's plea and hint of humanity convince Tom to help him. The doctor claims to be from the power company, but Tom doesn't fall for that, so Dr. Robotnik explains that he's at his home because he's tracking the cause of the power outages. Tom refuses to let him in, so the doctor goes on a spiel and tells him he'll die if he harbors a US fugitive. A commotion inside convinces the doctor to force his way inside Tom's home, leading him to discover one Sonic Quail. He threatens Tom with the truth, but before he can hurt him, Sonic jumps out, giving him a good scare. Tom punches him and escapes firing weapons with Sonic. The doctor has found his new goal in life, to capture Sonic and do experiments on him to find what gives him his powers. Sonic tells Tom that the rings are how he travels around Earth or between worlds, so he needs his help to get them back from San Francisco. Tom feels bad for Sonic, who has no sense of direction or friends, so he agrees to help. While they drive, Sonic admits he's been spying on him for years, but says it was more like they were hanging out even though he was never invited. Tom stops to make a phone call on the phones usually reserved for drug dealers or fugitives, which they are. Sonic notices a crowded bar and assumes it is the coolest place on Earth, but tries to remain in the car, per Tom's orders. While on the phone with his coworker, Dr. Robotnik grabs the phone and tells him he will never make it out of this unless he surrenders Sonic willingly. Sonic couldn't resist and entered the crowded bar. While chatting with Tom, he's inspired to write a bucket list. When he realizes how long it is, he is scared to leave Earth and fail to experience these things. Tom says they could probably spare an hour or two to cross some things off the list. After a great time, they are approached by a couple of ruffians who call them hipsters and demand that they leave. Sonic tells the bully that he's just picked a fight with a poorly disguised hedgehog who's seen way too many action movies. But when he bops him on the head with the beer bottle, it doesn't shatter as he expected it to. A massive bar fight ensues. Sonic enjoys his time at super speed, messing with people however he wants. His efforts put a nice end to the fighting. Sonic is feeling pretty confident when they get to a hotel room, but Tom has had a long day, so Sonic settles for everything he can do in the hotel room within 30 seconds. He falls asleep, and Tom sees his own wanted broadcast on TV. Dr. Robotnik visits the bar in the aftermath of Sonic's visit, leading him to their current traveling location. Sonic is devastated to learn that Tom wants to move to San Francisco to see if he has what it takes to be a city cop. He He says Green Hills loves him and it's a safe place to live. He says he should stay to continue caring for the people he loves. While Sonic is upset with Tom, the doctor appears behind them and shoots a harpoon into the car. Sonic's emotions charge his powers against his will, but it works to his advantage when he flies off the car and blows up Robotnik's bus. Sonic celebrates the short-lived victory, only for the doctor to send out a smaller vehicle. Sonic easily sabotages his second vehicle, but that's not all the doctor has up his sleeve. Tom kicks the smaller robot's head in, but it deploys an even smaller and cuter helicopter. Sonic asks if Tom has car insurance because he's gonna have to make a claim. He squashes the annoying little destructor, but it leaves a sticky bomb on Sonic. Tom pulls over, but it's hard to get rid of. Sonic doesn't get far away enough from the blast. Robotnik is furious, to say the least. He is losing his patience with Agent Stone when he hears Sonic's quail making a sound for the first time. Dr. Robotnik says, "Amashiroi." Tom races to save Sonic, entering his sister-in-law's house. They are very worried, even before seeing Sonic. Tom asks for a glass of water. Dr. Robotnik is dancing and having a fabulous time while he uses his high-tech to scan and determine everything he can about Sonic's quail. Maybe dancing is how he stays fit and calm, but Agent Stone scares the living daylights out of him. He can't be mad though, because he loves how Stone makes his lattes. Just then, the doctor discovers Sonic's power source. With this unlimited power, he will be able to unlock the full potential of his robotic army. Pretzel Lady asks if he's an alien, but he's more of a blue devil. Tom explains that he must help Sonic get to the Trans-America building to recover his teleporting coins. While her mind is blown, her sister encourages her to leave him right now, but Pretzel Lady is a very understanding woman. They take her sister's car downtown, and Tom gets a key to the roof of the building by showing his police badge and claiming he's been tracking a case from Montana. Other people by the elevator hear Sonic complaining from in the back, and it makes them very concerned for their child. On the roof, Sonic finds his rings and explains how it works. Sonic thanks Tom for saving his life and for treating him like a family he never had. Just as he throws the ring, Robotnik and his robots appear. He was certainly not expecting Sonic to push his human friends off the building. Sonic had time to spare before he started messing with the missiles, bullets, and flying devices at super speed. Robotnik's finger manages to press his magic button, which is now capable of matching Sonic's super speed. Sonic is shot by the doctor, barely having enough time to save his friends with one of his rings. The farmer just happens to know Tom, and says Bessie's about to give birth, so he could use his help. Sonic challenges Dr. Robotnik to a very evenly matched race through the city. He uses his rings to teleport around the Earth, trying anything to get ahead of the doctor even for a second. Sonic is shot moments before he enters a ring and falls on the street in front of Tom, who uses a ring to get behind the doctor, but it only makes him the new target. The town steps in to defend their sheriff and the blue devil that Crazy Carl wasn't crazy about seeing. It appears that Sonic is gone, but after Tom defends him and calls him his friend, Sonic wakes up supercharged. He announces that he won't be using his powers to run away anymore, but to protect his friends. He reabsorbs the power Robotnik stole from him, rendering his technology basically useless. With Tom's help, Sonic smashes his ship through a ring, sending him to the Mushroom World instead. Tom decides they're meant to stay in their hometown, with the people they love, including Sonic the Hedgehog. While they paint their home, a government official stops by to give them something as a token of appreciation for keeping quiet about a major event that never happened. It's not quite what they expected, but it will be a nice date night. They promise they have not seen or heard from the Blue Devil, but he's actually living with them as their adopted son. They reveal the room they've put together just for him, including all his belongings from before, and it's more than he ever could have asked for. Dr. Robotnik still has a small bit of Sonic's power contained. He swears that, unlike the average man that would lose his sanity and pass away on such a planet, he will find his way back to Earth.